All right, sorry, let me start that over again. For the first person on the Motor City Disassembly line, Animatronic, skating at number 22. Bone Punks and Harmony, skating it at number 182. Skating in at 83, Chompers. 728, that's Combat Cat. At number 14, that's Oirish. That's O-I exclamation point, Rish. At number 4, that's Effin' Money. At Woot, it's Jenna Farrell. Number 65, that's Thunder Kiss. 10, it's Swift Justice, the best kind of justice. Number 80, that's Mean Streak. 421, that's Flam Babe. At number 119, Nikki Noxum. Your co-captain for the Detroit Disassembly line, Motor City Disassembly line is Peaches and Creamia. And your captain, Cotton Candy Princess. Let's hear it for the Motor City Disassembly line. They've come a long way, and they're getting ready to throw down. Oh, and on the bench, we have the Uniballer and AK 40 ounce.
And that brings us to the introduction. They need no introduction, but we're still gonna do it. That is the Dairyland Dolls B team. Number OW, that is Gertrude Awakening. Number 10, Sproutin' the Tail. Number 12, 13 is Knocking Jay. 131 is Molly Talk. Number 206 is CC Ripjaw. Number 247 is Dive Hard. Number 313 is Slayhound. 350 degrees is Susie Homewrecker. Number 6 is Wipeout Scout. Number 48 and your captain is Micro Mauler. Number BIT, it is Fang Dangled. Number B52, Sequin Destroy Her. L5 is Brokeback Jack. And number T3N is a Magnitude 10. They are joined on the bench this evening by Reckless and Betty Davis Thighs. These are your Dairyland Dolls.
Your officials for this second bout of this doubleheader, your head ref will be Stabby McDudebro. Other referees include the Gorham Reaver, No You Didn't, Pollywog, Stark Raven Mad, Ermagard Referer, Chaotic Neutral, Eddie Lizard and Bjorn to Kill. We're in the orange and keeping the paperwork, the non-skating officials, Macromaniac, A. Gru, Keister Bunny, Shown Up, Book It, Jack Astor, Dread Gazebo, Squeaky Fromage, Thaco, Captain Emo, Cordova, Arch Enema, Uno Moss, and Bjorn to Kill.
And ringster managing tonight, making sure all the stats match up, is Brad Lang, the feared.
We are all lined up on the track, just waiting for the go-ahead from the referees. Taking the star on that 105.5 jam line for the Dairyland Dolls is Sequin Destroy Her, going up against number 10, Swift Justice. And with that whistle, the bout is underway. Both jammers trying to take that inside line first.
Sequin Destroyer being recycled to the back of the pack, hit out by, that would be Peaches and Creamia, the captain. She knows what she's doing out there.
And Swift Justice is your lead jammer for Detroit.
Sequin being recycled again. Doesn't matter for Swift Justice though. She's right through like it's nothing at all.
It looks like a couple of blockers from each team picked up some penalties. Brokeback Jack and Ori Riche are going to be spending 30 seconds in the box apiece. Both jammers on their scoring passes, but Swift Justice calls it off quickly, picking up 3 more points on that last pass and shutting out the Dairyland Owls. It is Detroit Disassembly line with first blood. 8 points to Dairyland Owls 0.
Just a reminder, fans, no matter which way this plays out, after the bout tonight, Club Inferno is our after party just over the train tracks. Club Inferno at 1718 Commercial Avenue, Madison's hottest club.
Up on the track, we have, for the Dairyland Dolls, Wipeout Scout facing off against now the lead jammer. That looks like number 80, Mean Streak. I'll say so.
And Wipeout Scout jamming for the Dairyland Owls out on her initial pass. Mean Streak getting hung up behind. Micro Mauler calls it off, picks up 3 points. Again, shutting out the Dairyland Owls on that second jam.
I think Detroit might be a little sore over the last time they met. They might be pulling out the big guns early.
It's true. We have taken the star for the Dairyland Dolls is Sprout and a Tail.
And on the other hand, for the Motor City Disassembly line, we have number 22, Animatronic.
Animatronic out front first, pushing against that wall of white. But it is Sprout and a Tail who picks up lead jam status for the Dairyland Owls.
Molotov got a piece of Animatronic just as she was going by, allowing Sprout and a Tail to get lead jammer status.
Sprout and a Tail calls it off, picking up 1 point, locking out the disassembly line. Dairyland Dolls on the board, 1 to Detroit's 11 with just under 27 left to go in the first half of gameplay.
So far, this pack has been fast and flying forward, just like Fast Forward Skate Center. 4649 Verona Road, Madison. Come discover the joy of roller skating, the same joy that MRD has enjoyed for 10 years.
Or rollerblading, if you're into that kind of thing.
Starting on the 105.5 jam line, we have Gertrude Awakening taking the star against Mean Streak, showing up again with the star, but it is Gertrude Awakening with lead jam status.
Mean Streak being sent to a penalty box on a track cut. Reported late, came in from the outside. No points on that jam for either team.
The Gertrude Awakening followed the instructions of her bench, called it off, but unfortunately they didn't realize that they had a power jam at the time. So we're going to be starting this next jam as a power jam in favor of the Dairyland Owls. B52 Sequin Destroyer taking the star for the ladies in white.
Swift Justice still the jammer, starting in the penalty box. The Dairyland Dolls all start on the right-hand side of the track and just move over, smushing the Detroit Motor City Disassembly line girls right aside, giving B52 a perfect line on that outside line. Sweet.
Detroit setting up and brace defense in the front, using full advantage of their blockers, moving forward, facing forwards and backwards.
B52 called for a cutting penalty, though, as she re-entered, having been blocked out.
Mean Streak back on the track for Detroit. She is not your lead jammer, though, so this is going to be a 2-minute jam.
The Bataan Death March of jams. I think there's been more penalties in the first couple of jams here than there was in that entire previous jam.
Looks like number 80 for Detroit picked up a back block. Will be spending some time with her teammate in the penalty box.
Madison blockers out there are working hard, giving Swift Justice the business here at the back of the track, forcing her down on the inside of the track, forcing her down on the outside of the track as well. Doesn't matter for Sequin Destroyer though, she's out, that's 5. That's 5-2 for Swift Justice, excuse me. She's going back around for more as well with B52 fighting at the front. She makes it out. That's 4 points for Madison. There's a low block call, sending A Magnitude straight to the penalty box for 30 seconds.
And it looks like she knew that as it was happening. She got a push from one of her teammates. Unfortunately, it knocked her off balance and caused a low block. Starting this next jam, we have number 6, Wipeout Scout for the Dairyland Dolls, going up against number 2, Animatronic for Detroit.
One Dairyland blocker in the box. That gives Detroit, the Motor City Disassembly line, a 1 blocker advantage. Looks like it's working too, because Animatronic is getting closer to the front of the pack here. She's going in, she's going out. Wipeout Scout still stuck at the back of the pack, having to deal with a bunch of blue.
Animatronic takes a whip off one of her own teammates and picks up lead jam status. Wipeout Scout quick around and out on her initial pass. Animatronic sneaking up that inside, barely an apex jump. It picks up 4 points on that pass, calls it off, bringing that jam to its conclusion.
You know, with Art Fair on the square this weekend, there was no farmer's market up at the square. So if any of you are liking some of that fresh produce and want to eat some of it tonight, our Feed the Doll sponsor tonight was grown and raised by Grassroots Farms, LLC, certified organic vegetables and hops, pasture-raised pork, beef, lamb, chicken, turkey, and eggs in Monroe, Wisconsin.
That sounds delicious.
And we are out, and Sprout Natal has picked up lead jam status for the Dairyland Dolls. She's going up against Mean Streak.
Mean Streak definitely earning up to her name as she battles her way through the pack past all of the Dairyland blockers in what is looking to be a very, very physical game.
It always is when the DDs play Detroit. Whether it's the A team or the B team, there's always a certain intensity. It's good time.
Mean Streak sent to the penalty box right there at the end of the jam for a forearm penalty. Means that we're going to start off in a power jam for the Dairyland Dolls. Down by 15 points right now. And Blue 6-5 being sent off for a illegal procedure late hit. Can't be hitting people in between the jam. 6-5 needs to report to the penalty box, if at all possible.
Gertrude Awakening jammer for the Dairyland Dolls, making her way against a short pack of Detroit, picks up lead jam for the DDs. CC Ripjaw going into play some offense up front. And Ger pushes forward again, picking up 5 points for the Dairyland Dolls. Detroit's jammer out of the box on her initial pass.
Gertrude Awakening being sent to the penalty box on a cutting penalty. One of those blockers rushed back, and she came in right in front of him, unfortunately.
There be whistles being blown all over out there. We have a lot of skaters going to be visiting the sin bin right now. We have one Jenna Farrell, blocker for Detroit. Gertrude Awakening, jammer for the Dairyland Dolls, along with Fang Dangled, one of the blockers with the DDs.
Mean Streak still out there. She was fighting hard. However, Blue 728, that is Combat Cat. She picks up the star. There's a star pass, ladies and gentlemen. She's out and again. That is 5 points from Motor City Disassembly line, but right on her heels.
That is Gertrude Awakening.
Bunch of people go down on a pile right there at the apex of turns 1 and 2. Mean Streak being recycled to the back of the pack by KJ, knocking Jay for the rest of us.
Gertrude Awakening having to avoid a couple bodies, but picks up 4 points at the end of that jam.
All you after party goers, after you eat that fine meal prepared by Vic Perez and staff of the Blackhawk County or Country Club, everyone needs a cookie. I need a cookie, you need a cookie, and some of the best cookies around, even cookies supplied to the Mad Rollin' Dolls, come from Crest Spring Bakery in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. The cookie supplier to the Mad Rollin' Dolls founded the Dane County Farmers Market, even during official timeouts, and also found in Blue Mound, Wisconsin. If you want vegan cookies, they do vegan.
So we have an official timeout. Good times. Officials talking about stuff.
This has been an extremely physical game so far.
Yeah, very fast, very physical.
A lot of penalties coming in too. We already have a few trips to the box on both sides. For the DDs, we have 2. We got 5 trips on the DDs already to the box. Detroit not a little bit in front with 8 by my count. And we're only 12 minutes into the game.
Yeah, our score sitting at Detroit Disassembly line 39. Dairyland Dolls beat team 27. Again, just under 18 and a half minutes left to go in the first half.
A special note to Swift Justice of the Detroit Disassembly line, 22 of those 39 points so far.
Holy crap.
So it looks like we are going to be, we're just going to wait and see what the referees say before we talk about that.
My guess is that there were a lot of penalties in that last jam. They just want to make sure they have them all tallied up.
Whistle, whistle, whistle.
Paperwork is important.
It's true.
Well, you know, the officials are there. Keep the game safe, keep the track safe, keep us safe.
Nah. Okay, I guess you're right.
Come on.
Well, you know, Derby is a safe community. Just like our bout charity tonight, Safe Communities of Madison, Dane County. They're a local nonprofit coalition that brings together public and private sector partners to save lives, prevent injuries, and make our community a safer place. Just like our brethren in the stripes and the orange.
And I have just received confirmation from our referee alternate that indeed they are sorting out penalties.
If you enjoy roller derby, you may also enjoy hanging out with us at the after party. That is located just over the train tracks at the Inferno.
I would definitely say that it's within stumbling distance if I were to make a moniker.
Conveniently located in stumbling distance.
Excellent.
And with that whistle, that's letting us know that this jam is going to start shortly. It is going to be a power jam in favor of the Dairyland Owls. Sequin Destroyer with the star in white.
Dairyland Dolls are short a single blocker. Knocking Jay is still in the penalty box right here at the beginning of this jam. However, Sequin Destroyer is out. Lead jammer, but she is still being recycled to the back of the pack. Doesn't matter, you know, all it counts is your hips for lead jammer. If you still get knocked out in the process, still got to go back in behind him.
Yeah.
Motor City Disassembly line losing another to the penalty box. That's number 22.
And Sequin Destroy her out on her initial pass. Detroit doing a great job of killing the start of that power jam. And it looks like Animatronic now, no, excuse me.
Yep.
Combat Cat back on the track with the Jam Star for Detroit, going up against 4-strong DD Pack out on her initial pass.
B52 taking her advice of Pretty Reckless here on the bench, calling it off, scoring 3 points for the Dairyland Dolls. That's going to bring us up to 30 for the Dairyland Dolls to 39 of the Motor City Disassembly line.
Making up some space on that point spread, but probably not as much as they were hoping for on that power jam. We have 17 minutes left to go in this first half of gameplay. Wipeout Scout number 6 taking the star for the Dairyland Dolls. And that is number 4, Effin' Money for Detroit. Full packs on both sides, or knock on wood for now.
Ooh. Up there at the front, Wipeout Scout takes a devastating hit. And that is from Flam Babe. Holy moly. That is going to be a bruise right there. Motor City Disassembly line with lead jammer. Effin' Money is out there scoring points. Scout is also out, having finally forced the blockers out of play up at the front.
Wipeout Scout able to sneak around the outside, pick up 4 points. Detroit picking up 3 on that last pass.
Hinckley Design and Production, just another shout out to them. They produce our videos, they produce their own videos for anyone who needs them, commercials, interviews, sporting events. They have broadcast roller derby locally, domestically, internationally. They've done it all, and they'll do it for you. Hinckley Design and Production, taking your project from start to finish.
Taking the star for Detroit, it is 132, or 182, I believe that is Bone Punks in Harmony, going up against number 10, Wipeout Scout, or excuse me, Sprout Natale, and she is your lead jammer, Wipeout Scout, Sprout Natale.
Motor City Disassembly line hemorrhaging blockers, losing 2. 1 to a multiplayer and 1 to a low block. Yeah. Dairyland Dolls recycling Bone Punks all the way back. She's got to start her pass all over again. She's up at the front already. Lovin' and shoving up against the front. Molotov does her best, can't stop her though.
I think Detroit has
Swift Justice is also sent to the penalty box, as is Thunder Kiss. Looks like Detroit is going to be starting the jam with 3 in the penalty box.
And it looks like the Dairyland Dolls outscored, and there is a lead change. Dairyland Dolls 44, Detroit Disassembly line 43. There is a timeout being called by Detroit, as they are going to be starting this next bout with 1 blocker on the track, going up against 3 Dairyland Dolls blockers. Good times.
Hey, sometimes you just got to be that one person out there. You got to stand against it all.
You got to hold it down. Happy Go Lucky did a fantastic job of that in the first bout, and she got her lead jammer. So it's possible.
2 right. And again, for you folks watching at home, in the white we have Madison's Dairyland Dolls, and in the dark blue we have the Motor City Disassembly line from Detroit. We'd like to thank you for watching online. We know that you could be doing other things, but we appreciate you watching.
We'd also like to thank Super Duper, who offers digital offset letterpress and hand silkscreen printing, specializing in CD and DVD packaging and manufacturing.
And it looks like the one blocker Detroit is fielding is Combat Cat. She's going to be going up against, or helping out her jammer, animatronic Gertrude Awakening, taking the star for the Dairyland Dolls.
And with this whistle, they're off, but with a no pack. Knocking Jay being sent to the penalty box for not reforming the pack quite fast enough. That's an out of play penalty. Micro Mauler also being sent to the penalty box. Looks like things have switched up. That's going to be 3-1. Micro Mauler has to be sent back out on the track. There's not enough room on the box.
So we have had a reverse of fortunes on the track. Detroit starting with 3 in the box, and now Dairyland Dolls having 3 blockers of their own going to the box during the course of this jam. Looks like there was a star pass to, no, I apologize, animatronic picking up. No points on that last pass, but.
And that brings us to another official timeout. Good time to hit up our sponsors here, quick fast.
Shout out to Mini of Madison. Keep it Mini, M-I-N-I. Motivated, inspired, not normal, and innovative at Mini of Madison. Not normal, the calling card of roller derby.
We would like to remind you that we have 2 bouts coming up in the next 2 months. The first one of which is July 18th, and it will be held at the Dane County Fair. It will be over in one of the exposition halls, and you will get into it with the entrance fee to the fair. So come on out and see 2 Mad Rollin' Dolls mixer teams take it out on the track. Our second one is August 9th. It is a triple header between the Mad Rollin' Dolls and the Chicago Outfit. Tickets for that are on sale over at the rules table and are $10 a pop. Great deal.
Quick note on the Dairyland Dolls' competition this evening. The Detroit Disassembly line have had a busy spring and summer. Back in May, they played Small Town Roller Derby, defeating them 155-106 on May 10th. May 11th, they beat Traverse City 186-62 until they hit the monster of Midwest Derby in Windy City. The second wind, unfortunately, defeated them 368-53 on June the 21st.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this official timeout is brought to you by sorting out all the penalties that just occurred in that last jam. I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to take a stab at it. As somebody who has also may have been an official in the past, I don't know.
Brought to you by Illegal Activity.
Better right than quick is my motto.
It's true.
Ideally both, but
officials don't have a limit of the number of timeouts that they can call.
Well, after a couple, we start to get a little antsy, but we never run out of them.
So do the Minnesota fans.
Right?
Remember, folks, roller derby penalties don't work like penalties in other sports. They don't stop the clock. They don't stop gameplay, and there's a lot of paperwork needing to be done to keep these penalties in track. So sometimes these stoppages are necessary, especially in a game as fast and as hard fought as this.
Good time to, if you're looking to quick grab a refreshment, or perhaps use the restroom, grab some water. It is fairly warm in here for all you people out on the internet. It is warm indeed. And humid.
In the meantime, the tunes you're enjoying are provided by Be Cool Entertainment, the DJ for for the Mad Rollin' Dolls. Be Cool Entertainment is your entertainment headquarters. Check them out at Be Cool. That's K-U-H-L, B-K-U-L-U-H-L. I'm sorry, BKUHLentertainment.com.
Be Cool Entertainment right now is the only thing keeping me even moderately cool. I am burning up in here.
It does get a little warm in the barn in the summer. It's true. It is an ice skating rink, hockey rink in the winter, so you know they don't really need air conditioning. But
they do have a lot of insulation here.
They do, a lot of insulation. So FYI, gets a little warm sometimes. And when you get warm, you should go get yourself a frosty cold beer from the concession stands from one of our many sponsors, Ale Asylum, Malt House, PBR. You have so many options of the beers that support MRD.
Yeah.
So, it looks like we got all of our penalties sorted out. We have 2 Detroit blockers starting in the box, 1 Dairyland Dolls blocker starting in the box, both jammers on the track. Number 4, Effin' Money going up against B52, Sequin Destroyer.
Sequin Destroyer plowing her way forward at the front of the pack. She's not...
Sequin...
Oh. She's got lead jammer status for the Dairyland Dolls. Penalty being called. That is a out of play being called on Detroit. She's being sent to the penalty box. She's going to spend 30 seconds sitting down with her teammates here.
Sequin Destroyer scooping around the outside, picking up 4. Nope, make that 5 points for the Dairyland Dolls and calling it a night. That brings the score to Dairyland Dolls 62, Detroit Disassembly Line 51 with just over 12 minutes left to go in this first half of gameplay.
This is a low-scoring, physically intense game.
Yeah, when you see scores that low, you know that the defense is extra hard to get through.
It's all about the walls.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of which, the people who's going to be trying to break down those walls, we got Mean Streak out there for the Detroit Disassembly Line, and your lead jammer for the Dairyland B team, that is Wipeout Scout.
She picked that up quick.
Micro Mauler holding back Mean Streak at the front of the pack. She is giving it her all. She meets the 20 feet. She's got to let her go. But it doesn't matter because Wipeout Scout is already getting the pack, scoring points. And that's going to be 3. Another 3 to tack on to Madison. That's going to bring it back up to 65-51 Madison.
Definitely seems like the Dairyland Dolls are taking advantage of the penalty trouble that Detroit has started to pick up. It started to pick up a little steam of their own on this point side.
Has not been about for the slow and timid.
That is true. Taking the line for Detroit, we have Animatronic, number 22, going up against Sproutin' the Tail.
We see both of these jammers out here pretty fairly regularly here. Like, they're pretty dedicated jammers.
Sprout 1 left to beat. She is lead jam for the Dairyland Dolls. Animatronic still stuck, has a big hit on Molotov and Brokeback Jack on the inside. Lines up and decides to play defense with her blockers before going back through on her initial pass.
It's always a risky move when a jammer becomes a blocker, even for a little bit. It means that they're not scoring points, and that's what you really need to be doing.
Big hit by Molotov, chasing Animatronic out of the pack, getting her out and drawing her back very last few inches of those 20 feet.
I think she recycled her about 60 feet there.
And it looks like Animatronic, while trying to block her way through the pack, picked up a forearm penalty. That will make the next jam a power jam start for the Dairyland Dolls. So lining up on that 105.5 jam line will be only one jammer. That is Gertrude Awakening for the Dairyland Dolls. She has her work cut out for her going up against 4 strong Detroit blockers. We have Effin' Money, Flambe, Peaches, and Creamia, and someone else that I can't see, and I apologize.
Gertrude Awakening
Bone
forced out
Punks
to
and
the
Harmony.
outside. She has to recycle. Whoop! Hits a trap door in the track. They're everywhere, I swear. And she is pushing up against a 4, now a 3 wall. Excuse me, a 2 wall. They're shedding off. And Gertrude Awakening, your lead jammer.
Detroit doing a great job of driving out that power jam.
Those Detroit blockers, boy, they were inviting those Dairyland blockers to join them in the fight, and they were having none of it.
And
we got
Dairyland Dolls called off that jam at the very end there, and Detroit's jammer Animatronic standing in the box.
looks like a Detroit blocker being sent out on a multiplayer block. Looks like that's your captain, Princess Cotton Candy, or Cotton Candy Princess, excuse me. Animatronic still, she just got out on her initial pass, fighting her way through. Looks like Brokeback Jack, Slayhound, and Susie Homewrecker out there. Detroit holds it to 0 on that pass. Detroit picks up another one, bringing him up to 52.
Just under 8 minutes left to go in the first half here. Again, Detroit and Madison have a long and storied history. The A teams have met many a time. The B teams met for the first time last year at Brouhaha Tournament over in Milwaukee. Dairyland Dolls came out victorious that time. We'll see who comes out victorious tonight, but it is always a hard bout between these two leagues and teams.
And it looks like we've got Combat Cat jamming out there for Motor Disassembly line. Knocking Jay is giving her some trouble at the back of the pack. Doesn't matter to wipe out Scout though. She's out. She's your lead jammer for the Dairyland Dolls. Combat Cat is out, having been put through the ringer of the Dairyland Dolls defense. Scout is knocked out of bounds, but not before scoring 2 points for Madison. Sometimes it's not about the big power jams. Sometimes it's just about nickel and diming your way to victory.
Points and call, points and call. That is going to be an official timeout. Looks like we have a little track repair that is going to happen.
Hey fans, if you want to get as fit as the Mad Rollin' Dolls, where Derby girls work out is the Monkey Bar Gym. They work out there to be strong enough for Derby and strong enough for everything else. At Monkey Bar Gym in Madison, they understand both high-level athletic performance and physical limitations. They've trained professional athletes and weekend warriors, firefighters, grandmothers, carpenters, and cancer survivors. At 1876 East Washington Avenue in Madison.
And it looks like we're going to get started here. We have number 80, Mean Streak, taking the line against number 10, Sproutin' a Tail. Everyone on the track for now. Ooh, Mean Streak taking the inside line and picking up lead jam status, but Sproutin' a Tail right behind her.
Oop, a referee goes down on the outside. It's chaotic neutral. Some jammer on jammer battling. Decides to play it safe.
I always do like watching Sprout jump around out there. She's got some wicked lateral action on her.
Sproutin' a Tail was riding her tail there. That's about as good as you can get when you come out second.
And taking the 105.5 jam line, number 10 is Swift Justice, going up against Gertrude Awakening.
Still full blockers out on the track for both teams. Plenty of room for offense and defense, both. Gertrude Awakening going out, going in, not finding much. She is being held up by number 728 Combat Cat. Meanwhile, lead jammer status goes to the Motor City Disassembly line. That is Swift Justice, earning her name, earning that lead jammer status.
Detroit doing a great job of driving Gurr out and recycling her back, but the Dairyland Dolls making a wall, preventing them from going any further back.
Effing money just making life hellish for Gertrude Awakening out there.
And
Swift Justice picking up 5 points there on that pass. She decides to call it. 0 points for Gertrude Awakening, 2 for Swift Justice. Closing a little bit of that gap. Only 17 points separate these two teams, and we're coming up only a little less than 5 minutes to halftime.
Ooh, this is a good bout. So exciting. Lining up on the 105.5 Jam line, we have Mean Streak again taking the star, going up against Sequin Destroy Her in the white.
Still full pack out there. Both teams are playing a little safe. Maybe reeling it in after the initial penalty troubles on both sides. That's for Detroit. You got number 80, Mean Streak, trying her in, out, in.
Sequin Destroy Her muscling her way up the inside line, picking up lead status. Mean Streak still held up behind Slayhound and Susie Homewrecker.
And Molly Taub also up there. They're forming a trifecta of pain.
Given how physical this bout has been, Sequin was surprisingly patient on her way through that first pass.
Susie Homewrecker being sent to the penalty box on a high block call, caught at the very back of the pack.
Starting out this next jam, we have number 10 making her way to the line again. Swift Justice going up against 6 Wipeout Scout.
4-3 advantage in the pack for Detroit, and a bout like this, that can make a difference.
Swift Justice trying her way up the inside line, gets around Micro Mauler and his lead jammer. Wipeout Scout out on her initial pass. Quick jump by Swift Justice on the inside line, picks up 4 points and calls it a night.
It's at the expense of a single Detroit blocker, however, who caused a direction of gameplay penalty that sends Chompers to the penalty box.
Wah, wah, wah. Taking the star again, we have Combat Cat going up against Sprout and Tail. Combat Cat being a bit of trouble in the pack and with the Jam Star on tonight. She's out front first, going up against a wall of white.
Looks like Detroit broke the pack there. That's going to send 7-7U to the penalty box. 7-7-0, excuse me. That's Peaches and Creamia.
And it looks like Combat Cat picked up a track cut. We'll be spending 30 seconds in the box as Sprout and a Tail is still on her initial pass. And Detroit missing more blockers heading to the the penalty box. Cotton Candy Princess joining Peaches and Creamia.
That's Sprout and a Tail working her magic against the 2 remaining blockers, Nikki Noxum and number 33.
And
or,
that
excuse me, 83 Chompers.
That is 5 points for Sprout and a Tail. Combat Cat out of the penalty box and scoring points. No, I apologize. That was her initial pass.
Nikki Noxum heading to the penalty box for a penalty she was called on earlier to serve it. It's going to leave Detroit with 3 out on the track, 4 for the Dairyland Dolls. With just under a minute to go in this half. What's the score over there, Allie?
That score is Detroit Disassembly Line 63, Dairyland Dolls B Team 87. This is possibly the last jam of this half. I say possibly because anything is possible in roller derby. Anything.
Yep, in roller derby. Jams have had 45 points in a single jam. Jams have gone an entire minute without anybody moving. Anything is possible here.
On the track, Effin' Money with the star for Detroit. One to beat, and she's your lead jammer. Going up against Gertrude Awakening, still stuck in the pack. The line's clear, and she is out on her initial pass.
Effin' Money comes into contact with Knocking Jay at the back of the pack, puts her to the ground, decides, let's go to the next, let's do this next jam.
I'll see you again out there. Taking the line, we have Seeker and Destroy her. B52 taking the star for the Dairyland Dolls. Going up against number 10, Swift Justice. We have, it looks like an official timeout. No, I apologize. That is the half. There may have been a slight issue with the clock, but it did wind down. There was no timeout called by either team or the officials, so that is the end of the first half of gameplay. Detroit Disassembly line 64, Dairyland Dolls 87. You have just under 10 minutes to go for this halftime. Go grab some water, grab some beer, grab some food, grab some merch, grab some tickets for the next bout on August